शुभदां वरदां नमो नमः विश्ववन्दिता निर्मला माता सर्वपूजिता निर्मला माता। जब से हम सहयोगी बने, सच्चे सुख का ज्ञान हुआ, जीवन एक वरदान हुआ। जब से हम सहयोगी बने, जब से हम सहयोगी बने। सहज योग की सहज शक्ति ऐसा जादू कर गई, भेद के साथ चक्र कुंडलिनी सात समंदर तर गई। कीचक कमल समान हुआ,
पाकर करते हैं स्वागत दिल से गाकर, प्रेम फूलों की माला पहनाते हैं, प्रेम फूलों की माला पहनाते हैं हम। स्वागत स्वागत स्वागतम, हम सब करते स्वागतम। आज हमारे बीच पधारे श्री माता जी हाथ मिलाए, झुम झुम के करते हैं गान, झुम झुम के करते हैं गान। स्वागत है
जब से हम सहयोगी बने, जब से हम सहयोगी बने। अरे जिस मिलन के कारण सूर हो उठा अधीरा, सुनो जिस मोह मिलन में रच गया दास कबीरा। राज सुख छोड़ के सारे दीवानी हो गई मीरा, सहज हम निर्मल माने दिया उस मिलन का हीरा। महावीर और बुद्ध ने गाए निराकार के गीत, संत मिले पूरब पश्चिम के जो पुराने मीत। विश्व मिलन आसान हुआ, जीवन एक वरदान हुआ। जब से हम सहयोगी बने, जब से हम सहयोगी बने। सहज योग है सहज जीवन, बात समझिए आ गई। दुर्लभ हो गया सुलभ आत्मा, अपनी मंजिल पा गई। अपने पर अभिमान हुआ, जीवन
ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿ ಕುರ್ಚಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು
Bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot change it. We cannot transform it. We cannot describe it. You have to experience the truth. What we know about truth is through our limited mind, which is in itself in a confusion. Mind is actually something artificial. The real is the brain, but mind is artificial. And when we start projecting our mind, everybody does it in their own way, and then there's a conflict, there's a fight. Some say this is correct, another says that is correct, and one does not know which one is to follow and what to do. We have science before us. We thought science will solve our problems, but we must know that science is amoral. It has no morality with it, and it has such limitations that we cannot know the fundamentals about ourselves. For example, we cannot say why are we on this earth. The science cannot explain why are we on this earth. What is the purpose of our life? There are so many things we can ask scientists and they cannot answer the question. So we take to religion and to books which are written about God Almighty. There also we find the people who are in charge of religion are extremely power oriented or money oriented. They are not spirit oriented. So whatever religion they have created is nothing but ritualism, what we can call as karma kand. All kinds of rituals people do. I met many people who told me, Mother, we have done this vrat, we have fasted, we have been to Himalayas, all kinds of things we have done, but we haven't achieved self-realization, the Atma Sakshatkar. I again say, for this, you have to know that you have a special right to become self-realized because you are born in these modern times. These modern times, I call them the blossom time, where there are many, many seekers of truth who were running about in the search of truth all over on the mountains, inside the caves, wondering what is the aim of their life. But they all could not find it, and it already promised that in this horrible Ghor Kali Yuga that people will find the truth. Without the truth, which is absolute, we can never understand why we are fighting. Everybody thinks that they know the truth and they can lead the masses into that path of truth so-called. But as you see gradually that all these ideas are exposed to be not the absolute. So we have to find the absolute truth. Now what is the absolute truth? What is the way to know the absolute? Absolute truth is that You are not this body. You are not this mind. You are not these conditionings, or you are not this ego. You are not these emotions and aspirations. But what you are the pure spirit. This is the first thing one has to understand. Whatever I am going to tell you today, you shouldn't accept it blindfolded. We have had enough of problem with blind faiths. So you should keep your mind open like scientist. If you find what I am saying is being proved, then as honest people you better accept it. Because it is the last breakthrough of your evolution. Because it is for the benevolence of your being, for the benevolence of the family, benevolence of your city, of this country, and of the whole world. Because human beings are as they are, there are problems. What they need is a complete transformation, and today I am telling you about a global transformation. For that you need not be very well educated. For that you need not be belonging to any big city. For that you need not be a very sophisticated personality, or a person who thinks that he's being overly religious. It can work out in every person, because our Creator has already created that wonderful thing called Kundalini within you. The second truth one has to see is that there is an all-pervading power of divine love. It is described with different names in different books, we should say, by different incarnations, seers and prophets. It is called as Paramachaitanya in our Indian scriptures, is called as Ruh in the Quran, is called as the all-pervading power of divine love in the Bible, as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. Adi Shankaracharya has called the description as Salilam, Salilam, cool, cool. The description of this all-pervading power may be called by many names, but that makes no difference. There is an all-pervading power we can call the only power which is vital, which looks after us, which gives us all these beautiful plants and flowers, which we take it for granted, which runs our heart, which gives us life, gives us joy, and which tells us what is the absolute truth. We have to feel this all-pervading power, experience it. By experiencing only, you will know what is the truth is. You have to experience it on your central nervous system. It's not just to say that this is what God is, this is what Param Chaitanya is. You have to experience. All of you have to experience it. Of course, it's a living process of our evolution. When we became human beings, we didn't pay to anyone. Or when these plants came up or the flowers came out of one seed, we didn't pay to Mother Earth. So you cannot pay for it. For the divine doesn't understand money. It's a headache human beings have created. They think that God also needs money. God doesn't need any money from you. Nor you can pay for your evolution, which is absolutely there, already placed within you in the triangular bone, called as sacrum. That means the Greeks knew that it was a sacred bone. And they told me that they came to know from Indians. It's very surprising that the Greeks learned so many things from us while we don't know much about ourselves. This triangular bone is placed at the base of our spinal cord, is the one that has this special power which is coiled up in 3.5 coils, and because it's a coil which is in Sanskrit is kundal, and because it's a feminine power, it's a Shakti, that's why it's called as Kundalini. At least in the south people know something about Kundalini, and they know about also self-realization. But in the north people don't know anything. If you talk to them about Kundalini, they think that I'm talking about Kundali. They don't understand what is Kundalini is. But it's very surprising because the people in the north are not so ritualistic perhaps. They have taken to Sahaja Yoga so easily that I felt that these are some seekers of last life, that they have taken to it so easily and are so much involved into themselves in bettering their inner being. Unless and until we improve our inner being, we cannot understand what's wrong with us, why we behave in such a manner, why our society behaves in such a manner, why people who are occupying higher places at the helm of affairs suffer from all kinds of problems of greed also. It is coming because we are ignorant about ourselves. We don't know what we are, how great we are, what are our powers, what is our glory. Because of that, we are running after things which are of no value, which are of no use, which are not meant to be taken to as human beings who are at the epitome of evolution. They are the highest. Those highest people have to achieve the last breakthrough. This is, I am just as a mother telling you that if you can accept not what I am saying, but accept the experience that you are going to have. In short, I'll try to tell you what happens when this Kundalini rises. Actually, it is like a little seed has a plumule in it, what we call Ankura, and which gets manifested when it comes in contact with the Mother Earth. Then it grows into a very big tree. In the same way, your plumule is this Kundalini, which is to be awakened. As a result, you become a very different transformed person who has the light of the Spirit shining in the attention. So the first thing that happens to you, that you start feeling this all-pervading power around you. I must tell you, this country of ours is a yoga bhumi. Don't get disturbed by what is happening outside, but inside this is a very, very ancient country of yoga, meaning by which you are surrounded by this Parama Chaitanya. It is those who can see that the Param Chaitanya is active. And because of this, you can feel the existence of this Parama Chaitanya very easily. Indians can feel it because they say that one has to be full of punya, has to be born in this country. Of course, some people have lost faith in that. That is not the truth. The truth is definitely that you are born in this country, you have every right, you have your birthright to get your self-realization. The whole world is understanding that it's India which is going to lead the whole world in spirituality. Once this Kundalini is awakened, it passes through various centers. You have been told about these centers, that it passes through 6 centers and pierces through the last center, which actually is the 7th one, and connects you to this all-pervading power of divine love. Like this instrument, supposing, is made and is not connected to the mains, it has no meaning. In the same way, we have no meaning, we have no identity unless and until we are connected to this power which has created us. So spontaneously it rises. You don't have to do anything, no mantras, no japas, no fasting, nothing. Don't have to stand on your head, nothing of the kind. But it just spontaneously gets awakened, rises, and you can feel it on your fingertips. This cool breeze of the Holy Ghost, as they call it in the Bible, or as in the Quran is described, that at the time of resurrection you will feel this ruh on your hands, and your hands will speak, and they will tell you what is wrong with you. These hands will speak against you in the sense they will tell you what's wrong with you. You have been told already about the chakras and how you feel them on your fingertips. All this has to happen. But internally what happens is that we become extremely peaceful, automatically. Nobody has to tell you, now I'll give you a peace award, or there's a peace you must have. This lecturing doesn't work out. Because all the time this head is madly thinking, this mind is thinking all the time. And when it is thinking, what is happening is that there are waves of thoughts coming up and down, up and down. We live in the future and also in the past. But we cannot live in the present. If I say come to the present, you cannot. And present is the reality, because past is finished and the future doesn't exist. So what happens when this Kundalini rises? She elongates these thoughts and a space is created between them, which is called as Vilamba. By this happening, you feel absolutely peaceful, because you become thoughtlessly aware. Thoughtlessly aware means you are absolutely aware, but you are thoughtless. We call it in Sanskrit as nirvichar samadhi. Automatically it happens to you that you become thoughtlessly aware, that you stand in the present. Then there is no bombardment of thoughts, nothing. You are absolutely peaceful, and then you get all the qualifications of a sakshatkari who becomes the witness of the whole drama. He thinks the whole world is a drama. He watches the whole thing without getting disturbed. I can give an example like if you are standing in the water, you are afraid of the waves that are coming. But in case you know how to jump into a boat, then you are not afraid. You watch these waves nicely, enjoy them. But supposing you know how to jump and swim, then you can save others also. So this is the 2 stages into which you pass. First you become thoughtlessly aware, and the second stage where you become, we call it as doubtlessly aware, means in Sanskrit it is nirvikalpa. There is no vikalpa, and you just become one with that divine power, and you know how to handle the situation. As a result of this, so many things can happen, because all your physical, mental, emotional problems are there because these centers are in the jeopardy. There's something wrong, serious with the centers. That's why you are physically sick or mentally ill, or you have other problems. Say even from false gurus you have problems. They all get corrected because this Kundalini passes through these centers. She nourishes them, she integrates them and enlightens them, with that enlightenment, what you get is a complete experience. Again I say, not the knowledge, because knowledge can mean the mental. It's not the mental, but the complete experience of yourself and the experience of your being, whatever it is which you have never known before. We say, this is my nose, this is my hand, this is my body. We say my, but who is the owner of this my? Is the Spirit. And the Spirit is the reflection of God Almighty within us. Now, so many patients have been cured, many heart patients have been cured, cancer has been cured, and even AIDS has been cured through Sajog, no doubt. But for that, we cannot force you. We cannot force you to take to your realization. It is your own desire, your pure desire that works. This solves the problem once for all. Because first of all, your health improves, also your wealth improves. The reason is, also there is a Lakshmi principle in the Nabhi Chakra. When it gets enlightened, you get ideas, and ideas which are workable, which work out to solve even your financial problems, so you don't have to take to something that is greed or take to something that is wrong. Above all, you feel absolutely satisfied about everything. For example, now you want to buy a car, then you want to buy a house. Nothing satisfies you. You go on buying one from another to another to another. Nothing satisfies you. What happens? That all the time you are dissatisfied, and whatever you work out and whatever you try for is of no use to you, because once it is done, you think it's finished now. It's no use having anything of this kind, but we should have something more. Is a principle of economics that wants in general are not satiable. So we all suffer from this kind of a madness of running from one thing to another and then to another. Now this is finished. Whatever you get, you enjoy, and whatever you have, you love it. Even a little thing like these flowers here, so fragrant, I can just feel them, how beautiful they are and how they are so fragrant. They may die tomorrow, but how fragrant they are, how they are giving you joy. And you become sort of I should say, a very sensitive personality which feels the nature, which feels other human beings, and which feels all the goodness of the world. You become really a very saintly person, like a saint. But you don't have to give up your family, you don't have to give up anything, because this giving up is also a mental idea that if you do this, then something will happen. I give a simple example. I was in Chicago, it was very cold, really cold, and we were in a hall which was heated up, but still it was very cold, and everybody was feeling the cold, you see. But there was a fellow from some group, Hare Rama group, who came and who was wearing a very thin dhoti. He was an American, you see, and he was shivering before me. I said, why are you wearing a dhoti? So he said, my guru has told me that if you have to have your moksha, you must wear dhoti. I said, really? Then in our country, 80% people wear nothing but dhoti. All of them will get moksha without any trouble. Then he was shaved and had a ponytail behind, what we call, I don't know, in your language, what do you call it to shaving? Huh?
Which one? Oh?
That's the shaving of the thing that you have.
Kudmi.
Huh?
You have a small kudmi.
Could be. All right. So he was having a could be. Now, Jitu. All right. So I said, what is all this? Why did you shave your hair? Why did you have this? So again he says, my guru has told me that you have to have this if you want to enter into heavens. I said, really? I didn't know this, because in India so many people have it. But then I told him about Kabira, who has said a beautiful couplet about it. He said, by shaving your head, if you can go to heaven, then what about the lamb who shaved twice a year? He'll be there first before you. It's like this. So you see, all all this kind of thing. When I said, he got very angry. He said, you are talking against my guru. I said, I'm not talking against your guru, but I'm just telling you as a mother. What are you doing? What's the use? It's so cold for me as a mother. I feel that you should not wear such a thin dhoti that you feel this shivering in yourself. So this is what I'm saying, that if you are in ignorance and you accept it as a truth, you will go on and on and on for ages together. Yugas will pass, you will never take to truth. The truth is that which can be absolutely experienced. Not only that, but there should be complete understanding through your reasoning, not rationality, but reasoning. You must know it, that what you have got is the truth. Is not the way that my guru told me, or that I know this is it. It's not like that. Now, this will do good not only to your physical being, as I told you, it will do good to your mental being. You will become a peaceful person. Many people who are mentally sick have been cured. Now, English language is very limited. As you know, mind, I don't understand English mind, what it means. If it means intelligence, or if it means brain, or anything. But we call it buddhi. That's a simple word to understand. English language as it is, you know, is very limited. It has no sense much of adhyatma, about spiritual life. But as I don't know your language, I had to use this foreign language to explain to you. For example, they say spirit. Now spirit can mean atma, spirit can mean alcohol, spirit can mean also a dead body. I mean, imagine. These three things, how can you have one word for that? But our languages are much more explanatory because they have been always going into the understanding of the truth. That's why we have much more words which can explain our inner problems and inner things in a very clear-cut manner. So now whatever it is, we should say that when people are retarded, they are born retarded, or they have mental problems, can be cured through Sahaja Yoga. There are many who have been cured by Sahaja Yoga. They have been. I am not telling you lies, because I don't have to get anything from you. I don't have to get any money or any position, or I am not for any election or for any political ends. I am here just to give you what is your own. This is your right to have. And all the saints have talked about it. You go to Punjab, there is Guru Nanak. He says, Kahe re ban khoj na jai. Why are you searching it in the jungles? It is within you. Just find it within yourself. And once you find it, then you realize what you are, that you are the pure spirit. This is the minimum that happens to us when you get realization. But afterwards, when you are established, you get all the powers to give realizations to others, to save others, and to work it out in such a way that it spreads very fast. What I feel, basically, we are very conditioned people. For example, I went to Russia. Russia is a place they were not allowed to talk about God or religion. It was such a crime to talk about God, about religion. Now in Russia, you will be amazed. First time I went there, I was amazed the way people thronged for Sat. And they settled down so easily, thousands and thousands. Always I have programs in a very big stadium. But in one village there is 21,000 settled Sahajogis, you know. We can't say their pindas are better or they are people of Purva Punyas or anything. But only thing good about them is they are not conditioned. They are a people with very clean slate. And just they accept and go into it. The scientists, we have so many scientists who are Sahajogis in Russia. It's very surprising. And once I had about 300 scientists who invited me to a conference, and as I started talking about science, because I thought for the scientists you better start talking on science. They said, "Brother, we don't want to know about science, because in science they have really very much advanced people, much more than even America." They said, "We know all the science and the limitations of science. You tell us about the science of God." I was amazed at these people. There are 240 doctors who are practicing Sahaja Yoga in Moscow itself, leave alone other parts. Now, you see, very surprising when they had a coup there, and I was there and I asked them, are you not worried about your political situation? He said, why should we? I said, why? There's such a political situation of coup and all that, aren't you worried? They said, see mother, we are in the kingdom of God. What do we bother about this kingdom? Such people are there because they are not so conditioned. We are overly read people. We know so many things by heart, and we are so conditioned in this country that I find the level of reaching the truth is much higher in those countries where they have had no education whatsoever about spirit, about religion, about God. Because once you think you know so much, it's difficult to talk to you. Supposing you send some boy to a college who thinks he knows everything. Well, how will he learn? Nothing. In the same way it happens in our country, and I sometimes feel very sad because I know this country is very great, and in this country are born such great saints of such great heights that we should not be lacking behind. As I told you, the whole world feels that India will give them the spiritual lead which is needed. Now, first they used to talk about IQ, that is the intelligence coefficients, and according to them Germans were the most highest races. Can you imagine, with all the kinds of horrible things they have done? But what has happened with them? Now they are talking about EQ, that there has to be a balance of your emotions as well as your intelligence. If intelligence doesn't have the balance of emotion, a person can become a devil. Now they are coming to this point, but we realized it's long since, I don't know, even Markandeya has talked about it thousands of years back. Now Kundalini is not a new science by any chance. It's a very, very ancient thing which was discovered in India. I was surprised that Ukraine I went to, and they had 3,000 years before Christ. They said a Machindar Nath came to our country. Can you imagine our Machindar Nath? Machindar Nath and Gorakhnath came to our country, and he told us about the Adishakti, about the Aditi they called it. And they have made paintings about this, about the chakras. I was amazed to see all these things, that they could make it even in the terracotta, and they are in the museum. I was surprised how they accepted all these things. But then they said that our communism came, or the Christian religion came, and they abolished everything. But still they have in the museum all these things which I am talking to you today. So this is an ancient science of Sahaja Yoga. It is not a new one. The only difference is that in the old times, when people were practicing this, especially the Nath Panthis in Maharashtra and also in your country, they did not sort of do the job of Kundalini awakening much. The tradition was to give only one selected person the awakening, only one. One guru would give it to one at the most. But at the time in the 12th century, Gyaneshwara said that no, let me at least write about this Kundalini. So when he wrote a treatise on Gita, in the Gita is not mentioned, because Krishna must have thought, what's this of telling these people about it? Maybe. Then Gyaneshwara wrote it in the 6th chapter, telling about the Kundalini, how she is the one who gives you realization. She is your individual mother, and how she works it out, so beautifully done. It's in the 6th chapter. But the Dharma Martandas, the ones who were in charge of religion, had no idea about it. So they said, this is out of question, this is something that Gyaneshwara has said it, but it has no meaning, it's Nishiddha, it's not to be read. So the whole thing went into oblivion. Then came in the 16th century so many saints, even in your country, we can say the maximum number of saints came, but also in the West. We have William Blake, we have another one called as Louis. You see, all these people have talked about Sahaja so clearly. But we didn't understand that it's so important to get your self-realization. Now what we have done now in this modern times is that a new method of en masse realization has come. En masse. You can give realization to masses. That has to be, because the time is such. Because also this Param Chaitanya has gone into a transformation. So now, before the Satyuga starts, after the Kali Yuga, what has started is called as Kruta Yuga, where this Param Chaitanya is absolutely active. It's so active that once you come to Sahaja Yoga, you'll be amazed. You may say this is what you have got as a miracle. Nothing is a miracle here. Everything works out so beautifully that you won't be able to believe that is possible, because just from this Ghor Kali Yuga getting into the realm of Kruta Yuga. And the Satya Yuga has started, because in Satya Yuga all the wrong things will be exposed, and that's what is happening today. So you shouldn't blame anybody. It is the Yuga which is helping us to see things which we never saw before. Now at this juncture, what I have to tell you, that you have this power. You can become thoughtlessly aware. Your spirit comes into your attention. In the light of your spirit, your attention does lots of things. If you put attention to somebody, you can know about his chakra. You can cure that person. You can help that person. So many things can be done through your attention, which is now enlightened, absolutely enlightened by the Spirit. You can experience your own being. You can experience your greatness. You can experience your glory. And also you develop a new dimension in you which we call as collective consciousness, Samuhik Chetana. Means you can feel others on your fingertips. Who is the other? The question is, who is the other? And you are amazed how you can feel others on your fingertips. And once you are there, you are a Sahaja-yogi. Anything happens to you here, the whole world, wherever there are Sahaja-yogis, they get disturbed. They want to help you. They want to find out what's the matter. The whole world, this one thing happens to you. Everyone, all over the world where you have so many brothers and sisters, they have all become collectively conscious. We have seminars in India once a year, and people from 65 nations at least come there, all selected people. I've never seen them quarrel. I've never seen them fighting. Never said a harsh word. They don't drink, they don't smoke, nothing of the kind. But so much beautiful, lovable people, how they love each other. Of course they are little mischievous, there's certain humor there. But it's such a friendship, such understanding and oneness, such a rapport. The children and the elders, it's a very beautiful race that has come out. Now I request you as Indians to understand me and not to keep your mind working so much, but just understand that you have to have this. Because ultimately what you get is that you jump into the sea of joy. Joy is not like happiness and unhappiness. It is singular. It is keval. It is absolute. This joy is there, and you just enjoy yourself, you enjoy everyone, and life becomes full of enjoyment. And all these trivial things that bother you get solved. Everything gets solved. You are amazed how it worked out. I have got letters after letters, and I was so fed up reading all of them that I didn't know what to do with it. So I told one Sahaja-yogi who is very good at computer that you computerize these things and see now we should put it in the book. In 1 month he says, the whole thing has gone up to my head, mother. Now what am I doing? In 1 month. I said, forget it. Let people experience, enjoy and find it out for themselves. What's the use of writing? You get this, you get that. It's so wonderful. The whole thing is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'll give you two examples. You won't believe how this Param Chaitanya is helping her. There was a lady from Mexico who was working with the UNICEF, and when I went to New York, many people from the UN came. One of them was herself. Then she took to Sahaja Yoga and she became a very devout Sahajogini. She had a son, very young boy, who was studying in Harvard University, and she wrote to me, Mother, in Mexico all my elders died of some disease which is very horrible, and they died at a very old age, but my son has got this disease at a very young age. He's just a student. So she wrote to me 3 letters. Whether I should come to India, will you help me, this, that. But I was traveling, I thought what to do. And the 4th letter came in which she writes, Mother, thanks to you. Of course I didn't do anything. I must tell you, I am a Nishkriya. I don't do anything. But it has worked out and my son has no disease. They have given all negative report. I was surprised how it has worked out. It's a fact. It's a fact. How it has worked. This is the Param Chaitanya. We just worked it out. You see, it is like a big computer, I should say, or it's a very big office where the sort of things go and they work it out. You won't believe it works, and it has worked with so many. There's another case of a girl who was young. Her father was a Sahajogi, mother was a Sahajogi. But she got frustrated with some very young girl in some love affair or something. So she wanted to kill herself. Father was a custom officer, so she took a pistol and put the trigger in. And the thing triggered in such a way that the thing came out from this side, a bullet, and also some blood. So parent got a fright, they took her to the hospital. Then she was quite conscious throughout. And doctors were amazed, how is she conscious? But then they x-rayed her, saw her, and they were amazed that the bullet has not touched any bone, any muscle, any nerve. It has nicely come out from this side. And the doctors couldn't understand. As a result, that hospital has taken to surgery in Delhi. That way I must say North Indians are much better in this respect, their authorities, because the Delhi University took over and there was a research done and 4 doctors have got now MD. But here, I don't know what is the situation, but in Maharashtra we have some so-called intelligent intellectuals. I think they are dumb people, absolutely dumb, because they don't want to see. If this is going to help them, why shouldn't you see this? Because after all, we are suffering from so many things, and if this is going to be helpful, why just say that this is not good, not possible, we can't believe it. But if you say arrogantly, you raise my Kundalini, I cannot. If you force on me, they told me one organization will give you 2 lakhs of rupees if you raise my Kundalini. I said, even if you give 10 lakhs, I cannot raise. Because Kundalini doesn't understand money. She understands your pure desire, because she is the power of pure desire. She is your individual mother. She knows everything about you, and she is anxious to give you your second birth. So this is all you have within yourself, which has to just manifest. Once it manifests, you will be surprised. Your children will be very beautiful children, and most of them pass with flying colors. I have seen so many Sahajogis who get first class first position, first class second position, who were supposed to be very dull students. So you can imagine what happens to your intelligence also, but also you become a very compassionate, kind and a peaceful person. If this is all your own property, this is all within you, why not have it? What's the harm in having it? Instead of thinking about something else, I've read this and I've read that, why not have it? It is a very, very simple thing. It is sahaja. Saha means born, saha means with, ja means born. Is born with you. This right, this birthright to have this yoga is the union with the divine. May God bless you. We will have the meditation process now. It will take hardly 10 minutes, not more than that. But if you don't want to have it, you can leave the place. So I have already told you that I cannot force on you. It cannot be forced. That's one of the limitations. It has to be asked for and it will go. So please, you can leave the place if you don't want to have. Now there are some people who might have read some stories that if you raise the Kundalini, you get this and you get that. Nothing of the kind. I have done this for last 25 years, more than that. I have not seen anything happening like that. Because if somebody doesn't know something, you put your hands in the plug and then you say the electricity has burnt me, so that means you are naive. But those people who have been helped, you ask them what they have felt it and how they are enjoying life. It changes you, transforms you, it gives you such a lot of creativity. Now, you know Amjad Ali, he is now a very famous thing. Safat Hussain is a very famous musician. They are all surgeons. First they were no good. Suddenly they have become such great artists. There are many painters who are now world famous. So many things have happened to them. There are people who are chartered accountants have become great poets. One fellow, one from Maharashtra, was a very ordinary man. Now he's got an award for writing a spiritual poetry so well. More than that, and a very great poet called Madhurkar has praised him so much. He said, I have no words to praise you. You are so much higher than me. So it works out in all directions, in every way, and your personality is expressed so well. All these modern things, strain and all these, I don't want to discuss now, but all these problems can be solved. Your children who are taking drugs and your children who are doing wrong things become extremely beautiful, obedient children and very good citizens of this country. It is a very different race that's coming up, and you should be one of them. That's what I request. May God bless you and give you a full desire to have this. It will take hardly any time for you to achieve it. Mantras, nothing. She will rise spontaneously. Don't have to do it. Also, Sahaj means spontaneous. It is effortless. It will work out effortlessly. So you don't have to take any name or chant anything, nothing. Just be quiet. That's all, and it will work out. You'll be amazed to feel it. I have to only tell you one thing, that it's rather cold, but doesn't matter. If you can take out your shoes, it will help a lot, because as I told you, this Mother Earth in India is especially vibrated, especially very spiritually gifted, because Sri Rama also took out his shoes when he came here, took out his Padatran when he came here. It's such a holy land. We are sitting on the very holy land of our country, and where it is very easy to give realization. To give realization to foreigners, you have to break my hands, and I tell you, it takes sometimes months to establish, but not with Indians. You will get your realization in no time, but don't waste it. Respect it. You have to respect it and grow into it. We have a very nice center here, and you are all expected to be there, and you will get all the knowledge free. It's not like my introductory lecture and after that you will be lynched with any money, because money has nothing to do with Sahaja. Maybe you might have to pay something for this place, or maybe, but that's different. That you can pay. But for your self-realization, you cannot pay. For this divine knowledge, you don't have to pay. Once you get divine knowledge, then you will understand the knowledge of our scriptures, of Bible, of Quran, of Gita, only. Before that, you cannot read between the lines. So you develop that sukshma drishti, that subtle understanding by which you really realize what is the truth is. You transcend all religions, all communities, all caste system, all nationalities, everything. You transcend, you become a global personality. So, now please put both your hands towards me. Please take out your shoes. Warm. you have to do one thing, is to forgive. Forgive yourself and forgive everybody else. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. That's the main problem. Don't feel guilty. Just forgive yourself and forgive everyone in general. Now, please put the left hand towards me. I know there's breeze outside, but this is coming from inside your head. Just see again with the right hand on your talu, on your fontanelle bone area, and left hand towards me. Now please don't put it on top of your head, but away from it. Adanti, like that. And see, some people get it far, some people get it nearer. So you can move your hand and see for yourself. Now be honest about it. If you are feeling it coming out of your fontanelle bone area. This is the blessing of our beloved country, which is India. Now, please put you have to bend your head. Now, please put your right hand again. You must bend your head. Just bend your head. It's better that you see it if it is bent. Just please bend your head and see for yourself. Again, be honest. Now, please put both your hands towards me like this and watch me without thinking. Just watch me. Just watch me without thinking. Some people get it from down below. They should put it back like this. Some people are getting from down below. Now, please put up your both the hands like this and push back your head. See, the sky is enlightened also. Put the hands like this and ask a question in your heart. You can call me Mother or Shri Mataji, whatever you like. Mother, is this the Parama Chaitanya? Ask this question. See what a wind is blowing. Put up your head. In your heart, please ask this question. Now, take down your hands, please. All those who have felt cool or hot breeze out of their fontanelle bone area or on their fingertips or on their palms, please raise both your hands. I bow to you all. Saintly life has started. I bow to you. May God bless you. The whole of Bengaluru. May God bless. May God bless. Now, as I said, respect your self-realization, and you have to just give little time. For meditation, hardly you need 10 minutes at home, but it's a collective happening. It's not happening individual. So if you do something individually, it will just cleanse you out for a while, but it's a collective happening. You have become the part and parcel of the whole. So, like if my finger is caught up, the whole body feels for it. In the same way, in the body of the Virata, you have become part and parcel. So now you have to come to the collective, for which you don't have to pay, you don't have to do anything. It's just to enjoy all your brothers and sisters, not only in Bengaluru, but in the whole country and later on in the whole world. May God bless you. I think I'll ask them to sing one song, so please don't go, just clap, because that will help you to improve your sensitivity. Just one song. in Bengaluru, which is very important today the way I see the situation is. May God bless you.
ಸರಸ್ವತಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾಮಂದಿರ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಣಿವಿಲಾಸ್ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹತ್ತಿರವಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಈ ಸಹಯೋಗದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಆತ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಭೋಜನ ನೀವು ಪಡೆಯಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಸಹಯೋಗಿಗಳು ಬಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದರ ಅನುಭವವನ್ನು ತಂದುಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಂದು ಬರಬೇಕಾಗಿ ವಿನಂತಿ. 1, 2, 3 ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ 6:30 ಗಂಟೆ ಶ್ರೀ ಸರಸ್ವತಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾಮಂದಿರ, 17 ವಾಣಿವಿಲಾಸ್ ರೋಡ್, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬಸವಗುಡಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. ಎಂದು ಬನ್ನಿ.
Like a thousand suns.
ಯಾರು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ.